united, and there are a lot of permutation combinations of various parties. Let's talk a little bit about the Mahagathbandhan that we heard prior to the actual election campaign started, and now. And if we go especially towards Uttar Pradesh, the way these equations have emerged, Congress is not actually a part of the Gadbandhan there. How do you see it's likely to play out for BJP?
Well, I mean, on the paper, theoretically or arithmetically, Mahagathbandhan is could be very effective opposition party if you do the arithmetic, because in Uttar Pradesh the voting is usually done on the caste basis, and if you look at 2014 voting, in 2014 BJP got 36%, SP got 20% vote share, BSP got also 15%, and Congress got about 9% or something like that. So if you total them up, then it becomes much more than, it almost becomes 56%.
Correct.
So but of course Congress is not there, so that is out. So so that's the challenge, and that but see, this is arithmetic. That doesn't mean that this is going to be happen, because the voting always happens not only by arithmetic, but it happens, chemistry has to be there, and people have a lot of good chemistry with the Narendra Bhai Modi and good chemistry with the BJP. So I think chemistry will overpower arithmetic.
Yeah. Talking about chemistry and maybe geography also, in terms of, as well as let's talk a little bit about opportunism, as we say in politics. So one important, or rather unknown face of BJP, Shatrughan Sinha, joined Congress, and his wife, I read today, Poonam Sinha, has joined Samajwadi Party, and probably they are going to feel her from Lucknow, where she'll be standing against Rajnath Singh ji. How do you see this habit of people jumping to the party which is going to offer them the ticket? Does this put a question mark on their sincerity as politicians or not?
Of course, theoretically there should be, I mean, that's why there is a anti-defection law we have. After election, if you defect, then I think there is some law that you cannot participate, you cannot be run for election for so many years or something, or you have to resign from that party. But you are right. I mean, it looks very opportunistic scenario, and I think it should be discouraged. And it's true for all the parties, and it is happening in all parties. And because someone got ticket, someone did not get ticket, someone got shifted to different area, people get unhappy, and they try to defect and try to get the best opportunity. But that's not good thing for in long term for healthy democracy.
So talking about what is good for democracy is the promises that you make. If you keep them, then people are happy, is one way. But the kind of promises that you keep and the kind of criticism that you throw on the other politicians, and let me specifically talk to you about Congress President Rahul Gandhi, who is questioned by Supreme Court for having quoted Supreme Court in declaring Prime Minister Narendra Modi one as Chaukidar, as chore, and that has become his constantly recurring theme of campaign. How do you look at it?
I think he probably is in legal trouble now, because what he was quoting after Supreme Court judgment other day, Supreme Court only said that they will allow those documents, the one which was not submitted before, for the review for further future judgment. So that doesn't say anything. It's kind of more of procedural judgment. So, and then he took it twisted out, and then he said that Supreme Court says that Chaukidar, whatever is chore hai, that is not that is wrong thing, and that's why I think Supreme Court has asked gave him notice, and President of Congress has to I think he has a deadline of Monday.
Correct.
To respond to that notice, and let's see what happens.
So we need to have certain guidelines in whatever sphere it is, and especially for the election. And there is election commission, and election commission has directed few leaders in almost all parties that they should abstain from making these kind of comments. So what do you think derives our politicians in making such remarks which would be damaging for a particular community or caste or
religion? I personally believe that that kind of for healthy secular democracy which we are, it is not very healthy for, doesn't matter which party person belongs to, whether it's a Congress, BJP, Samajwadi or BSP. They should not do the comment which is which divides or polarizes Hindu on religious basis, and that's why I think EC Election Commission has taken those kind of punishment, though it is a couple of 48 hours or 72 hours. I think that's a good example election committee has done.
So this is a symbolic gesture. So ultimately, it has to come from within. But how much one can expect that the cultural sense should have been there already? So I'm talking about another Samajwadi Party leader, Azam Khan, who made very
derogatory remark. It's unacceptable, really speaking. And everybody's remark is, Azam Khan's remark was unacceptable. Even Menka Gandhi's remark was kind of unacceptable. Mayawati's demand was unacceptable, and I think rightfully what election commission has done is correct. Even though it may be symbolic, it may not have long-lasting effect on the results of the election, but at least election commission is saying that we are noticing it, and one should not do that.
And let's talk about this word chore. I'm not referring to the way Rahul Gandhi used it, but being honest in politics, especially during election campaign days, is very idealistic way of looking at the scenario. I'm saying it because I'm seeing more and more expenditure on elections, and now, as you must have heard, DMK candidate from Vellore, Kathir Anand, they found 11 crore cash at his home. So they have
postponed that
election. Yeah. So this might happen at more places, but how can we prevent this from happening?
Well, again, bottom line is it's education and morality and integrity of the candidates. Not every candidate does this thing. Few bad apple does this thing, and that is not good for again in long run for healthy democracy. So one should discourage it, one should condemn it, and one should an authority should punish it.
So recently there's another news item. BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad and Hardeep Singh Puri ji, who was here earlier, and both of them have gone to election commission asking them that Rahul Gandhi is making so many false remarks, so he should be barred from campaigning. Of course, this is a very extreme sort of demand. Yet, how do you feel? Should they have been proactive? Because he has been making such remarks for months now.
Yes, I think, we do not, one should not support or subscribe to this kind of negative campaigning. But unfortunately, in any democracy, time and time again, this negative campaigning sometimes works. If you see what in 2016 what Trump used to do, he was used to do such a false allegation for the Hillary Clinton, and he was doing false allegation to his primary competitors like Bush Marcos and everyone.
Absolutely.
And actually he won because of negative campaigning. So unfortunately, I personally don't like negative campaign. There should be a positive campaign, but unfortunately, negative campaign sticks. A positive campaign doesn't stick, and that's a part of the human. It's a.
I think this psychology probably must have worked behind the Congress think tank. They thought that Rafael, Chaukidar Chor, probably that would work. But the way things are turning out, looks like it may work adversely for Congress.
Yes, it turned out because there's no substance to it, and they could not prove anything. And even Supreme Court has said that procedures was followed properly. So I think probably, as you say, that will boomerang on the Congress.
So as we move towards the concluding part of the conversation, and politics is such an interesting theme, and especially Indian politics at this hour, your concluding remarks for our viewers.
Well, still there's 4 to 6, 5 weeks to go. There are 6 phases of the election to be done, and I would urge, or on behalf of all NRIs outside India, that please keep everything very honest, truthful, discourage the fake news, and try to make democracy is real democracy. Make it, as I say, a festival of democracy, and it happens only time if you don't do a negative campaign, and whoever does negative campaign, do not hesitate to condemn them.
Absolutely, I appreciate that, Dr. Sudhir Parikh ji. And as they say, if you do not stand for anything, you will fall for everything. So we in certain leaders, and I would go to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as well as here in America, for Indian American community, I would say Dr. Sudhir Parikh has always maintained his stand clear of being pro-India and for strong India. And in this context, I conclude this part from my side by saying Jai Hind to you, sir.
Thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you next week. Till then, Jai Hind. God bless America. God bless India. Goodbye.